as per usual, if it lets me do so easily. Totally good to go. All right, let me situate myself. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to do a little get ready with me, as I've been doing on Fridays. I have picked out some really fun and exciting makeup stuff for today. And as you guys can see, I broke out so bad this week. I don't know what happened, but like all over my face, I just totally broke out. So I'm going to show you how I cover that with tons of like super cheap drugstore products, probably some stuff that you've seen a million times, definitely some stuff that you probably haven't seen, or at least just like my little tips and tricks to make things work the way we want them to. I also totally need to take care of my eyebrows because my natural eyebrows go up to like here. I obviously shave them down a ton to keep them like face framing. So we're going to get right on into it. I think I want to start with the e.l.f. primer here. Make sure you guys can see the little logo. This is by far my favorite primer, and I've bought expensive ones in the past. I used to use that like $60 Smashbox primer. I've used it all. Nothing actually works to cover up pimples and breakouts like this e.l.f. one does. Not that it's sponsored or anything, it's just, it's the best one. It's extremely goopy and tacky when you let it sit. I always let it sit on my hands for a second and try and like air dry it. And then I just tap it on to all the areas that I know I need to cover. And the good part about this is you can really just blob it onto your face. And you really want to use a lot of product in these situations because like if you only use a little bit, it's not going to stick the way it will if you were to truly just slap all of it on like this. We're just gonna load everything up. Same way I always do. I do this in like all of my little tutorials and stuff that you guys see in my YouTube shorts. I'm pretty much always totally stacked, like head to toe. So what we need to do now is just let it sit and dry before we add anything else because we want it to act like a Velcro. We want it to be like slap it on so nothing comes off when we add our other makeup. So I'm just gonna put this in like the used products pile off to the right. What I will be using next is just the classic, super cheap, it's the Maybelline eraser. It's the one that like your mom probably uses. I love this concealer, mainly because I don't like to be super cakey, just like to use a little bit at a time. And I think for brushes, because I have my huge brush container here, let's pick one that's a little bit, yeah, this is my usual concealer brush. We'll pick one here that's a little bit easier to use. We're essentially going to go and dab it on with the side that you can see already has tons of stuff on it. Add a little bit more. And now that everything is dried down, we're going to slightly just add a little tiny bit on top. It's like you're painting a house pretty much. And we want this to sit over top of everything we already have there. And this is what's going to actually make it so you can't see your acne when you're doing the rest of your makeup. Now, if you're somebody who likes to wear like a full face of makeup and you like to have a huge like layer of concealer, layer of foundation, layer of everything else, I would still recommend before you do any shaping with like concealer, your bronzer, your blush, whatever, make sure that you have a thick layer of concealer over anything you want to cover. And you're essentially barely going to do this. Oh my God, no, Ricardo, I do not. That's crazy. Anyways, we're just going to do another layer on all these little spots here. And we're just going to leave it. Essentially, we're going to blend it out a little bit later. But we're just going to leave everything the way it is. Put this off to the side when you're done with it. And this brush we want to hold on to because we want to use the back of it to blend out the rest of the concealer. So this is the spot that we added like really early on, like the early stuff. We're going to start very carefully, just like smushing the concealer around. What we want to aim to do is not put it too far away from the starting point, or it's going to be like way too pigmented later on. And what we're going to do next is use your finger and just try and blur out the ends a little tiny bit. You don't want to go overboard or you'll lose all the coverage. Just blur out the ends. And as you can see now, we have like a white base. And we're going to do that all across the board. So I know for me, I always break out when I'm PMSing because I have some hormone issues. So I'll have like 3 back-to-back weeks of absolutely no acne, like flawless clear skin. If you were here for my live last week, you probably seen my skin was literally glowing. And then the week before my period comes, it's just boom, a ton of acne all over my face. Thank you, James. It's really nice of you. I don't worry about it too much as I do just try and like, I like to show people who really hate having it how to cover it up. I typically don't wear this much makeup unless I'm going to work, just because I feel like in the office, you get taken more seriously when you look more put together. But for days like this where I'm just filming a little tutorial, I don't mind covering it up and showing how I do so. Plus, sometimes I like how it looks. Most of the time, I don't care, especially as somebody who spends a lot of time in the gym. In those cases, I truly could not care less what the rest of my face looks like. Actually, this was crazy. A couple years back, I used to go straight from work in the office to the gym because it was right down the street. Hi. And I would walk straight over in my work clothes, high heels, skirts, like half suits, whatever. And I would just work out in a full face of makeup because I already had it on. And it ended up making me get like contact dermatitis, which is like a huge skin rash. It was absurd. And my dermatologist was like, yeah, you gotta take your makeup off before you work out because it can like mix with sweat. It's so nasty. So now whenever I go to the gym, I wear absolutely no makeup. I usually take a break before I go to work, in between work and the gym. So as you guys can see, now we have these like little splotches of color as opposed to what we had before, which was all those red spots. I'm just wiping this brush off on a little towel here because I want to use actual color. Is this a secret homosexual club? Is crazy. You guys can make it whatever you want. I'm going to go in. My mom bought me these Harry Potter things. And actually, I have 2 shades I'll show you. I have this shade, which is pretty close to my skin tone, but a little bit darker. And then I have in the other Harry Potter palette that they got me, I think I'll use this shade. I think that is pretty close to my skin color. So I'm going to use that same exact brush I used before. Grab it and just over those areas. See how they like almost disappear? Just going to match the color of the eyeshadow to the color of my skin. It's super close to what I actually have here. Now I'm just going to go over all those spots. It won't be perfect, but when we have the rest of the makeup on, it'll look much more natural. Trust the process. Already you can see like here's where the concealer was on this side as opposed to where it was on this side. It's almost like disappeared. And this, instead of using like a full-on face powder or like a powder foundation, in my opinion, is how you avoid having that like super cakey makeup look. Which like I do sometimes, by the way. No hate to people who love to wear a ton of makeup. When I'm doing cosplay stuff or just like larger makeup videos, I will cake it on too. Just throw a ton of it. Am I wearing socks? Yeah, it's freezing. Invisible to my eyes? Thank you, James. I feel like to the average person, even if you're like, unless you're this close to somebody, you're not going to see, not going to see any difference. You'll really be able to see it like disappearing in these top areas. And I love doing this because it's also way cheaper than it is to buy a ton of different products. Which I know some people like to buy a lot of things and you have issues with consumerism. And there's people who spend like hundreds of dollars to get every new makeup product all the time. I know I personally rather spend my money on other things than on a ton of different makeup things. So as we can see, we'll compare sides in a second to give it like a real difference. Here's a side that we just put all of the eyeshadow over. Here's a side that we didn't. So you can see huge difference. I'm gonna keep going. And this palette, for what it is, it's literally just like the Harry Potter Profusion palette. It's not very expensive. It's really good and it's very pigmented for like a little collabby. Not that it's a kid palette or anything, but like younger audiences is who this was marketed to. So I was very impressed with how nice it came out. But I also got the rest of the set. All of it was as Christmas gifts. So it was actually really exciting to be able to combine so many of the different things. Thank you. So I think what we'll do next is probably work on these. Funny that HP decided to do makeup. Isn't it funny? It was a very interesting, like, collab out of nowhere. I also got, like, this was a huge thing, apparently. I don't know why, over Christmas time. I got a little lance board, like, wizard chest set from my grandpa. And then also from my grandpa, he got me, like, this little goblety chalice sort of thing. And it changes color when you put the liquid into it. So it was like, it was a huge collab. I don't know why all of a sudden it got so popular. Maybe because their game came out a year or two ago, but it was cool. It was cool to get all that stuff. So my next step, I'm going to go with my tweezers. My eyebrows are looking decent enough, but I see like a couple darker spots I just want to grab and pull on out of here. It was awesome, and it was really cool to have. I've been a fan of that, like, even the books, not just the movies, since I was pretty little, so I was excited to get so many cool presents around Christmas time. Ooh, I hate tweezing my eyebrows. It doesn't even hurt that bad, but it's like every once in a while you'll get one that's like really in there and you're just like, ooh, you're like taken aback by how much it hurts to pull them out. I used to do the little like dermaplaning things, like those little tiny face razors, but I feel like they would just grow back too fast. Ooh, I think that's good enough. Nice chin. Thank you. Yeah, I have very sharp features, in my opinion. I usually do, when I do my fantasy stuff, my D&D stuff, I'll usually do little fake elf ears, go the whole elf route of that stuff. It's always fun. So, for today, I'm thinking we'll go with the dark black shade here. Hi, it's my husband. Hi, husband. I'm going to have to assume that's Cal, 100% prune juice. Am I part Native American? I'm actually not. I know it's like most white people in America who have like 1 zillion, like little 0.0000 zillion times percentages. My great grandmother, my nanny on my mom's side, actually did have like boxes full of old Native American like clothing and headpieces. So she had a lot more of that percentage. So many lines down, it's nowhere near as strong as it was in me, but it is Faith Features. That's where I like to say it's from. So I'm thinking we're going to do some blue today. I have the blue theme going on. I'm liking this shade here. This like really, I'll zoom you guys in. We have this really neon electric blue I want to use. And then maybe we'll darken it with, we have a little shimmery blue here. And we'll start with this one, the light blue actually. Just because that really matches my shirt today. So, my trusty little brush towel is our big contender here for most important player, most valuable player. I'm just going to rub one of my brushes here, try and get whatever colors on here last, because I do not wash my makeup brushes in between all this. And we're going to go in with that super light blue. So, when I try and do like my shaping, my like first layer of makeup stuff, I take it pretty high up to the brow bone, but I try and give it a little bit of space. So I'm going to zoom myself into you guys here while I look at this mirror so I can give you guys like the full angle. And what I have to do is start on the bottom with whatever color it is that I'm using. You can see this one is actually, needs a couple layers, but then it almost matches my shirt. And if you guys can see, there's little like flaky pieces coming off. I think that is my terribly dry skin. Oh my God. My skin has been so dry this winter. I guess because it has been like -7 degrees. Actually, realistically, it's been like 18 degrees every day. It did go down to 6 degrees a few nights ago. So it's been gross and dry, and we've had all the heaters running for days. So when I have flaky dry skin, I usually use a lot of glittery shades to cover any of that up. Winter is death for skin. Yes, it is. They, them vibes is crazy, but whatever. But we're going to just keep adding this on, and I'm going to show you how we use glitter later. I don't know how often, like, people with dry skin get acne, but I was never the oily acne skin person. I was always the dry skin at times. Receding hairline, girl, I have a mullet, I have a mohawk. Let me clear my name real quick. I have a full head of hair, right? I have the sides of my head totally shaved to the back. It is both sides. It is because my hair is really thick, and as you can see, when I put it down, it looks like I have a full head of hair just because there's so much. I literally have inches of it shaved off all the way to the very back just because it is so unbelievable. Responding to trolls is fun, to be honest. We'll put it back. I like lemon drops. What color is the... Wait, whoa, what? I like lemon drops. What color is the... King Cruise Daddy, what are you talking about? We're going to move on to the other eye in the meantime. Keep adding this stuff on. I hope you guys can see at these like weird angles I'm on here because I have my mirror almost next to the camera. It's in a weird spot. I'm doing the same thing, trying to bring it up without making too big of a mess and without my skin peeling too bad. I would love to have, like, what color is my rainbow? I don't really know what you're talking about. I would love, love, love to give you an answer. Didn't even notice that impressive outfit. Isn't it crazy? And you should see, my mother has the thickest hair in the world. Where am I from? I'm all American from New Jersey. My mother, who I've bleached her hair, I've done full sets of highlights, I've done it all. Her hair is so thick, it will take the entire, like, tub of bleach to get it done. So I try to keep mine manageable. What is your color of the rainbow? Oh, my favorite color. My favorite color is purple, which is funny because I'm wearing all blue. But ever since I was younger, when I realized what colors were, I've been saying it's been purple. So since I was able to talk, essentially. And my birthday's in February. My birthstone is amethyst. So purple's just always been a favorite for me. Well, that's a great question. What is your favorite color? As I throw on blue makeup all over my face. All right, so I think we're good for our base here. United States of States, that is the truth. It is definitely a whole lot of them. All right, so what I think I want to do next here is go in. It is the color of royalty. I think I'm going to switch back to that other palette and go in with that brighter blue next. So that was this one right here. And using the same exact brush, and I'm going to start on the outside and start heading inwards nice and slowly. We're just going to add a little bit of color at a time. If you add too much at once, it'll end up exploding. My favorite color, my favorite trans influencer, I was born a woman. I'm on my period next week. But that's really funny. So we're going to keep going in circles here to keep blending this out. And like I said, you guys can kind of see my dry skin going all over the place. If you suffer from crazy dry skin in the wintertime and you don't have like a really thick primer to go over it, try to ignore it because when you add glitter on later, it fixes itself. Everybody's just putting any combinations of words in this chat. Cal, I wish people knew how to speak English. Like, they love to combine words. And you know what's funny? Is it's always people in different countries that are really well-spoken, and it's always the people in America that don't know how to speak. They'll just start, like, throwing stuff together that's either accusatory or just doesn't make sense, or is just crazy, like what that person just said. But it's the people, I've had wonderful people in my chat from France, from India, from Ireland, and they are so, like, on one hand, they're unbelievably fluent, but they are very polite, very well-spoken. Americans are insane. There you go. It's all trash talk, or they're just so comfortable because we live in such a weird society where people just like to say whatever they want all the time that they don't really know what manners are anymore. So they just start saying crazy stuff. But funny enough, I don't care too much. Liberal school system. See, I actually am not sure that that's where the problem is. I think a lot of the problem more so comes from like people being totally addicted to the internet, thinking they can say anything that they want to anybody that they see. It's more like illiteracy combined with constant flow of information. just making people be like, well, I think this is right. And 6 people on TikTok told me it was right, so therefore it must be right. My nails are bare, but I will have nail polish very soon, also in blue, which I'm going to be doing later on. Just because I have not had the chance to do any fake nails recently. I had them on all last week, and I got super bored of it. So, what I'm thinking, now that we have our like little exploded base of blue on, is I want to start doing some glittery shades. So, I have this blue here. It's the same people that Road Rage Devil ran rage behind the wheel, be quiet as a mouse in person. That is the truth. People just love to say tons and tons of stuff. They can never back it up. This says, even though you got lucky genetically, being beautiful on the inside makes beautiful on the outside less important. That's the truth. You have to be a good person. You have to be kind. You have to have manners. It does not matter how attractive you are if you can't treat anybody right. So I'm throwing on my glittery stuff next, which is how I avoid the dry skin issues, because it kind of like takes away all the random bits of flakiness. So this shade is pretty close to the color I already had on. What I'm going to do on the inner corners is probably go for like, I don't know if I want to do a gold or if I just want to do like a really white shimmery shade, but we'll do that part next. And that'll also add like a lot more drama to the colors that we have on here. I would have liked to have a blue that matches my hair a little bit better, but it's a little too dark for that. I do know I have some navy blues in these palettes, but I just like the bright ones sometimes too. Especially when it like almost exactly matches the little parts of my necklace and my earrings. So, I'm also looking behind you guys. I have a mirror. I'm not like staring off into the middle of space. Just throwing a bunch of glitter all over the place. So, once that's on, let me see what color I want. Hard to match Raven Black. It is very hard. This says a 14-year-old girl made millions of dollars showing other 14-year-old girls how to put on makeup. Well, good for her, honestly. So do I just do makeup? Oh, so I do a lot of stuff. Usually when I'm live, if I'm not playing a video game, I'm just getting ready. So this is one of those weeks where I'm rushing around. So I'm just going to do my makeup, chat with you guys for a little bit, and then I have to film a ton of videos and short content. I also do crochet stuff. These are tons of things that I've made, hand wrote the patterns for, handmade them, all of that I do tutorials on. But I play a lot of games. I'm a personal trainer, so I'll do gym content. Lots of variety content all over my channel. But usually when I'm doing live, I just get ready to go, or I'll be playing a video game online. This color, this one is called Lumos, is what I think I'm going to put on the inner corners here. Because it's going to be super, super, like, see how reflective and shiny that is? And I'm going to slowly put it all on the inside. Trying to keep that, like, oval-y shape, like the regular shape of the eye. I don't want to get, like, too crazy and out of the spots that I want it in. It's very wintry, these colors together, which I feel like fits perfectly. We have had snow in New Jersey for a week straight. It has not melted, and it has turned entirely to ice. And then we're getting snow again this upcoming weekend, which is probably just going to pile on top of the snow we already have and make more ice, which is going to be a pain, but it does look pretty outside. All right, just checking. I don't wear makeup, so it wouldn't be my thing. What kind of games? I have played tons and tons of games over the course of my life. So I grew up playing like the classic everything Nintendo. My dad is a collector of games and comic books. So I've played all of those. Got older, started playing more of the like Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, all that sort of stuff. Favorite game series of all time is Resident Evil. But, like, I'll also do funny stuff, too. My little sister and I did, like, a Roblox horror game video last Wednesday. That was really fun. But I have the whole spectrum of games. I've played it all over time. We have, do you do that crochet behind you? Yes, every single thing on this shelf was made by me. It is years and years of, like, my collective work. And a lot of it has, like, full written patterns and videos on YouTube. Not everything, but a lot of it does. All right, so now that we have the glittery stuff on, I'm going to go into this black. It's actually almost green. It's hard to see here, but really close to black, this dark shade here. Going to fill in my eyebrows and do a little bit under my eyes as well. Always go in with an angled brush. Ignore the mess on my hand. We have snow is always beautiful. I love it as long as I don't have to go anywhere. That is so true. That is the truth. I love sitting home, taking my dog outside in the backyard, like bundling up, drinking my tea, watching a movie. But when I had to go to work this week, oh my God, it was terrible. So when I fill in my eyebrows, it always becomes a mess first. That's why we have our best friend, which is the Q-tips. So I do it really gross. I just lick the Q-tip. And then I go in and I shape it to look exactly the way that I want it to afterwards. Which sometimes takes a little bit of time and a couple Q-tips. But when you have like shaved parts of your eyebrows like I do, it's important to really define them, or else they'll get like lost in the rest of your face, if that makes sense. So just gonna clean up the sides and then make sure I didn't get it too much in the middle. And then we still have to highlight and do all that stuff too. Says I'm not usually attracted to females that put makeup on. That's so funny. Now I understand why you have so much patience. That's also funny. Yeah, I'm a very patient woman. I'm going to now do the next bit here, trying not to overlap the little slit in my eyebrow. There we go. See how it's like the difference between the two of them, where this one looks like it's almost fading away. Now we have like, boom, that one's in your face. So this one will be even harder. I'm going to have to look on my mirror for a second because I have the double slit on this side, which makes it very difficult to actually get them even with each other. Actually, the reason I have 2 slits on this eyebrow and 1 on this one is just because I could not get them even. And I do my own hair, my own everything. It is so impossible to get them to line up perfectly. Especially when, like, big difference with such a small amount. That's the truth. That is the truth. It always looks so good, too. But oh, that actually came out perfect. I don't really remember what I was just saying. I totally lost it. I had to lock in hard to get that to look right. That actually came out pretty much perfectly even on the first try. If there was a dude that knew how to do makeup, I would absolutely love that. If somebody wanted to come do my hair and my makeup and stuff all the time and save me time and money out of my life, go ahead. But in the meantime, I do my own hair, my makeup. I also do everybody else's hair. I've had like all of my friends and my family for years. Thank you. For years, friends and family have been coming to me for their hair and makeup. And I usually just charge them my lunch for the day. Using the same brush, I'm going to go underneath of my eye too. Just a little tiny bit with the black here. And just kind of like define that lower line. Just a little tiny bit. Too much and you're going to have like the explosion underneath. So we want to keep it in like a really easy straight line. Just going straight up to the other corner. There we go. As you can see, it's like putting on eyeliner, but not fully because it's not going into your waterline. And I've honestly been way too lazy to do eyeliner in recent times. So I think that is going to conclude our eyeshadow portion here. What do I want to do next? I'll show you what I have actually. So another from the Harry Potter set, makes your eyes look bigger. Yes, it does. Which is like when I have big features, like my nose is on the bigger side, my lips are full, I want my eyes to look big too. I have the Harry Potter set in this blue eyeliner here, and that is what I'm going to put in my waterline. So if you're squeamish and don't like looking at stuff going in your eyes, look away for a second because I'm about to essentially stab myself in the eyeball. Just so that way I can get a little bit of this sparkly blue in there. See? Boom. I love this color. It is like, this is pretty close to the color of my hair. There we go. Looks awesome. Okay, we're done with the eye stabbing part, so you can look back if you hated that. Now, before we do anything else, I want to do my lashes. So I'm going to curl them with the curler. I guess this is close to eye stabbing, but it's not as bad. Nothing goes in my eye. Curl them just for a second. Don't ever pull with the curler, rip all your eyelashes out. Do a little bit of that. And then you add this to my done pile on the side. Looks good, but I can't imagine. It's worth it. I've stabbed myself before. I think I told this story last time, when I was live last week, I've gotten like black liquid eyeliner in my eye and it literally looks like you're crying black liquid. It's kind of scary. Mascara I get from my health food store just because I don't like putting the other ones on, like the waterproof ones, because they stay forever. This one washes off way easier. And I'm just going to make sure I do a nice layer here. I have fake lashes. I'm not sure if I feel like putting them on or not today, but we'll see when this is done. Fake lashes look really good with dark makeup because they kind of distinguish your own lashes from like an all black eyeshadow look or like a big eyeliner wing. But sometimes when you wear lighter colors like this, you don't need it as much. I also always do my bottom lashes. I know some women don't either like how it looks or don't like how it feels, but I feel like I have to have mascara on the top and bottom. But here, see how it's like looks darker as it goes up, like with the mascara, without the mascara. So small difference. I'm actually almost out of this. Totally need to get more soon. But there we go. Gonna go in on the other side, do the exact same thing. And then we'll decide right after if we're gonna do fake lashes or not. And fake lashes are awesome, like don't get me wrong, but they are a little bit uncomfortable if you have to wear them all day. So I'm at like the office for work all day long, which thankfully I'm not there today. Wearing like an 8.5 hour shifts worth of false lashes, absolutely terrible. It is, it's way more noticeable than it's like, especially if you look closer, just to have a little bit of the mascara on. I feel like it completes the look, especially if you have like black hair, like I do. Having brown eyelashes just has like a weird discrepancy in the colors. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't feel like putting on fake lashes today. So we'll skip that step for now. I still have them behind me. They're actually right behind you guys on my phone. I have them over here. I'll leave them back. All right, next up, let's do my favorite part, which is going to be more drastic than it looks. I have my blush. This I also get from the health food store. Don't need them at all? I don't think so either. So I think I'm just going to leave it. I love this blush. I have raved about it a million times. The brand is called Fat in the Moon, and this is their lip paint. Hello. So this lip paint, in my opinion, is the perfect blush. And it's going to look really red for a second, but I swear to you, once it starts blending out, it looks much, much better. I find a pink blush looks a little weird on me, probably because my skin is so pale, that like a more red or an orangey shade always looks a little bit more like mature and put together. Immediately, color difference. And it looks so dramatic, but it's not. And then we'll put the highlighter on last. But like, see how just a little bit of difference in color kind of adds some life back to my pale, pale skin? You know, it's funny, when I was younger, and I'm talking like much younger, when I was a little kid, I was super, super tan. Like, my dad is tan and he uses the tanning beds and all that sort of stuff. But like, when I was young, I was really tan. And it's not like a difference in how much I go outside then versus now. But like, I don't know what happened. It's just the older I got, the less tan I became. Hi, everybody. Also, thank you for the compliments. I always do a little tiny bit on the nose, too. Especially in the winter, because I feel like it gives you that, like, little rosy look. It's really cute. Boom, blush is on. And then we'll finish up the makeup portion of this. Actually, 2 steps left. I have my highlighter. It adds some good definition back. This is the best highlighter in the world. Any of you that wear makeup, this is Can Make Tokyo. It's hard to see because their logo is so shiny. This shade is like, it's perfect. It looks blue. It almost looks like it matches my shirt, right? But when it goes on, it literally looks like it's wet. It looks like, see what I mean? It is like a mirror reflecting off of your skin. I absolutely love this color. And I also own from the same brand, they have a purple one, and that one's really cool. It's almost like a film, like a filter over your skin when you do the purple ones, but I like to go with this one. It's dewy. It just looks like you're reflective, in my opinion. And I always just do a little bit on the nose and then on top of the cheekbones, like the main places people normally put them. I know some people do their forehead and their lips as well. You look beautiful. That's so funny. Thank you guys. I love your comments are so funny to me, but I just like wearing makeup because it's fun, honestly. And hi to everybody who's joining. I see like random notifications popping up as I'm doing this. Always go right underneath the eyebrows too. So now it looks like it's super reflective and shiny. Same thing on this side. And all I have left is some lip gloss. So first of all, let me take my hair down now that we're done. I always just put it up so I don't get it in my eyes. But there we go. I love these headbands. So I always do little Burt's Bees first. This is my favorite chapstick. And regardless of what I'm doing, like whether it be lipstick or lip gloss, done. It says, you are beautiful. Thank you. That's really nice. My favorite hobby is crocheting. As you can see behind me, all the things I made. Second favorite is probably boxing and just other stuff at the gym. But all time is going to be my craft stuff. Painting, drawing, crocheting. I'm just using this little Korean lip gloss. It's a very plain shade. It's just pink. Okay, done with makeup today. So, like I said, I was also going to do some nails. Well, I kind of just sat here. That would be so funny. A crochet. Wait, that's so funny, actually. I've done some, like, crochet sets before that I've sold, but I'm imagining, like, some super crazy, like, high fashion G-string set. That would be wild. That's some runway stuff. I could totally make one, but it's more just, like, that would be uncomfortable, depending on if you're a man or a woman. That's gonna get crazy real quick. Here we go. My nail polish shade for today. It's very, very sparkly. Are you a commie? No? That's crazy. I'll show you guys. Here's my nails without this on. Then I'll show you guys with it on after I get it on my hand. It's not, like, very colorful. It's just shiny and it helps protect your nails. See a little layer. So cool, not a boxy, some stuff that you made with crafting. Yeah, it's awesome. My lunch is over. Have a good day. You too, James. Thank you so much for being here today. Enjoy the rest of your work day. Yeah, I love not having to work on Fridays. The 3-day weekend setup is a all-time favorite of mine. But it's nice. I like my job, don't get me wrong. Love's a strong word, but I do like going to work. But I also really like my time at home. What about they, them? Why would you assume gen? Yeah, I don't know. People see somebody who wears a lot of colors or has colored hair and likes to make assumptions, but no, I just like having colors all over me. But also I feel like you gotta let people assume whatever they want, honestly. Sometimes you cannot break biases in different people, so you just let them make their little assumptions. I have all over the place that she, her, born a woman, I've always been one. Don't claim otherwise. Don't take credit away from other people. I just look a different way than people assume. My friend Ray loves your lives. That's so funny. Ray Sims, hey. Yeah, I love doing them. I love being able to sit here and just, like, talk while I'm getting ready for my day. It's honestly relaxing. I love meeting some of my subscribers and some of the people on here. And I like to talk about my opinions where nobody can really tell me to stop doing so, which is always fun. You know what would be great? One day I should get my brother on here. He has some of the funniest and most insane takes that anyone has ever heard. So it would be funny to get him on and just have, like, a conversation. Thank you, Kylie. Now you're getting a weird angle of me looking down while I paint my nails right now. Here we go. They're very simple. I'll probably do one more coat afterwards. I don't keep them super long, so I have to type for work, but I try to keep them, like, a pretty normal length with, like, a regular shimmery color over top of them. And, of course, I will do, good morning, I'll do fake nails, usually if I'm recording a crochet video in, like, the near future. So last week I had on, like, some blue almond shaped nails and filmed my entire video, which when my nails are dry, I'll actually show you what I made because I'm very proud of it. But, like, if I'm not doing a video, usually I just keep my nails nice and short. I've decided against doing another coat because I'm honestly kind of lazy. I was also thinking about straightening my hair today, but now I feel like I really like how it looks down, so we'll probably leave that too. And as we're finishing up the stream here and letting this stuff dry, I have made what is, in my opinion, my favorite crochet project of all time. If you were here last week, I told you about what I was going to make, and I showed you my other example of my, like, clown jester hats. So I have, like, I have a million patterns and a million ideas, and I'm really into, like, the circusy stuff and, like, medieval styles, older styles of clown stuff, dress wear, fashion, all that, right? And my nails are mostly dry. A couple weeks ago, this is gonna fall, I made one of these little jester hats. Old colors, huge little, like, ear horns sticking out of, like, the full hat. So I did not write a pattern for that one. I also did the little, like, colorful, I don't know what you would call this. It's not a shawl, it's like a reverse shawl. So I made all that, showed you guys you loved it, right? This time around, I actually made the pattern, and it's sitting on my bed. I'm just waiting for my nails to dry for me to grab it. And it's essentially like, let me grab it actually. It's right back here. I did much cooler colors this time, and I tried to add like a little bit better shaping. So this is my updated little jester hat. More structured on the ears, more structured on the hat itself with the point at the top, and it comes down the neck. I tried to keep the colors to be more of the, like, royal scheme. It also has, like, the very old design. If you guys know comic books, old Harley Quinn had more of a widow's peak in, like, her classic costume. Put that one in here, and this video is done. Pattern is done. I'm in the process of editing it all. So for anybody who does crochet stuff, this will be next week. Crochet Queen, thank you. Yeah, I like to think that that is one of my biggest talents of all time. But I have other circusy hats up here. I have one of my veils. I have tons of other, like, jester hats. So that will be the official pattern coming out next Wednesday, most likely around 2 p.m. I do my written patterns totally free. Those are on Instagram. And I post all of my actual, like, completed projects. Thank you, T-Dog. All my completed projects are totally done. They are on Depop if you're looking to buy anything. I'm also, before I end, let me tell you about my newest project. I'm in the process of setting up a whole website. And if you guys have been following for a while, you know I do my personal training stuff on there. I love it. I bought some Pokemon crochet. Oh my god, that's so cool. I've done some of, like, little amigurumis, whatever they're called, little stuffed animals. But mostly I just prefer making, like, fashion stuff. Yes, a full website. So that's what I'm doing. I have what's going to be, like, here's a spot to go to this section. So I'll have, like, my personal training, gym equipment, all that sort of stuff in one section. You'll be able to pop up in another section over here to click on, like, all my handmade patterns. I'm going to do, like, a design request and, like, an actual storefront too. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I know nothing about coding. I know basic HTML and, like, CSS and all that stuff. So I'm using, like, Wix to host it, but I'm trying to do, like, animations from Blender that I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. I want to take Blender animations that I've done and then put it into the website to have, like, designs floating around. So those are all, like, the next couple weeks to a month's worth of time, what my, like, next step and plans are. Because Depop is awesome for selling and it's fun, don't get me wrong. But I want people to be able to, like, go to my Instagram, go to my YouTube, and, like, click on one link that goes to everything on my YouTube channel, or everything on my website. And then I'll also be able to have, like, a personal blog. I want to do my Dungeons and Dragons stuff with my characters and my DM stuff on there too. Essentially just have, like, everything about me in one place on one website. So you guys can be able to have, like, I'm calling it wisest.hub, right? Because I'm Faith.Wisest. So I'm going through all that stuff. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys stick around for all that sort of stuff. I think it'll be fun. Some of you people are insane, by the way. Not every woman does OF because a lot of women have self-respect. Thank you, Ninja. So I think I'm going to end it here today because I do have to go film. I actually have to prep for D&D tonight. Thank you, guys. All the compliments. Thank you so much. You're so sweet to me. I am going to run. I will have tons and tons of stuff coming up soon. I have shorts coming out later. If any of you guys do high fantasy role-playing, like D&D, Pathfinder, that sort of stuff, I've been Game Master, Dungeon Master for years, doing some tip videos later. I have some stuff based on my new clown hat and my new patterns coming out soon. Tons and tons of that stuff. So don't forget to subscribe if you're into anything. I have such a wide variety of hobbies and posts and content. And that'll be it. I will be live again next Friday, maybe Thursday morning for my birthday. I haven't decided. I might go live birthday. I'm into things too. Might go live Thursday morning for my birthday. Get ready with you guys. But I will definitely be live Friday next week. I cannot wait to see you all then. Thank you for spending time with me, guys.